Good morning, fellow traders. All right, so we've got a few small gappers this morning. Hopefully we get some more volume when the open happens. It's been a little slow these last few days. There's RCON. It's gapping up. It closed at 153. It's currently at 169, and it went as high as 181. They got IMMR, which was, I believe this one gapped up yesterday, if I remember correctly, or the day before yesterday. Gapped up. It's sitting at 1130 now. We'll see what it does. DPW's gapping up as well. It closed at 212. It's at 229. KONE is gapping up too. Huge gap for this one. It closed at 468 and it's at 787 right now. So a big gap. Let's see. There's also a few other ones. Let me try to find. I'll go ahead and add my watch list to the chat, and then I'll review everything else that I see. ATOS, that penny stock runner from the other day is moving as well. I'll review it in 1 second. All right, so this is what I'm watching so far. Good morning, Power Zone. What's up, man? So yeah, you can see ATOS is gapping up nicely as well. Went as high as 71 cents. It's at 63.5 cents right now. MBOT is gapping up. You can also see one I really kind of like is SKLN. It just broke over $1, gapping up from 86 cents. It's at 103 now. The high is at 104. We'll see what it does over 104. Possibly get in for a pre-market after hours high break at the open on SKLN. So that's what I'm watching for that one. There's also MARK. You can see it's kind of bouncing around where all the support and resistance is. IGC gapped up over $1, closed at 87. Now it's at 103. Went as high as 110. There's CMCM. Went all the way up to $17.40. It's at $16.40 now. And so we'll see what it does too. Let's see, there is OPTT, small gap, don't like that one as much. BSPM looks okay. CASC. Yeah, this looks like a merger / possible buyout. Let me look this up. This looks like a merger or buyout. I'm sure it is. It looks almost exactly like one. So let's see. Or maybe an acquisition. Let me see. Yeah, so it was acquired by Seattle Genetics, CASC. That's what I thought. It looks just like an acquisition, and the sales price is $10. And so that makes sense, or the speculated sales price is $10. So that makes sense for CASC to look like that. It probably won't move at all. If you don't know, guys, when a company gets acquired, usually the stock will just kind of hover around the buy price, and I think the buy price is speculated to be $10. And so you can see it's just been hovering really close to that $10 point. It most likely won't move very much at all. VLCM. Yeah, possible. Get in some of this gap right here. All right, so let's see if any of these are actually tradable on TradeNet. RCON is. IMMR is, KONE is, SKLN is not, MBOT is not, ATOS is not, CMCM is, MARK is. Alright, so about half of these stocks are tradable on TradeNet. The other half I'll just have to use Ustock with. So GEH looks like a acquisition as well, possibly, is what this one looks like. GEB's gapping up, a little bit more expensive of a stock, but gonna watch it nevertheless. You can see IGC here is at 103. MBOT is at 110. SKLN is kind of bouncing back and forth between that $1 point and that 104 point. We'll see if we can get in for a pre-market high break at 104 at the open. That's what I'm really going to be looking for with this one. Good morning, Marwan, Chuck, D. Evan. What's up, guys? All right, so got a few decent movers. The last 2 days haven't been too bad trading. I had a profitable day on Monday. Yesterday was a break-even day, but more importantly, it was a green day on TradeNet, which is the most important thing for me right now, is building my TradeNet account back up. And so far, I've had 2 relatively successful days. Hopefully, I can continue with the week. I'm actually surprised I've been doing a little bit better these last few days because the market's been extremely slow, low volume throughout the market, not too much moving throughout the day. And so I'll still take the gains. We'll see if I can keep it up today and have another green day. Just looking around, see if I can find anything else that's moving. BSBR. Small gap for that one. LMFA looks kind of interesting here. The high of yesterday was 194. Yeah, Marwan, I've been up since 6 a.m. My daughter has choir this morning, and so I've been up pretty early this morning as well, man. I don't drink coffee, but I need to find some type of source of caffeine. Coffee just makes me a little bit too wired to drink. I've never really been a big coffee drinker, but this morning I need something, man. LMFA looks somewhat interesting, maybe over this 198 high. We'll see though. Couple small gappers, MBOT, like I said, SKLN, IGC. See if they can get a volume push. MARA is gapping up over the whole dollar of 3. SID's gapping up, but not with any volume. PTI was a kind of a runner yesterday. It gapped up nicely. I don't think it did much during the market hours, but it's at 490 right now. Let's look at some down gappers. There's BLCM, BOIL, gapping down some. NEOS, gapping down some. YANG, gapping down some. MYSZ. MYSZ is, I mean, it's moving, but it's gapping down some. It's holding over 2, which looks like an interesting spot for it. CERS is doing very similar thing to MYSZ. We'll see if it can hold over that 420 support. ERIC gapping down some. FRTA. Appreciate it, guys. Or I know A is Amy, I believe, so appreciate it, everyone. Yeah, I just never drank coffee. One thing, you know, what would always happen when I did drink coffee is that I would get really wired for about 2 hours, and then I would just feel horrible for the rest of the day. You know, I wouldn't be able to function well after drinking coffee. It just makes me a little bit too wired, and so I just stopped drinking it altogether. I wake up by myself. I usually have an okay amount of energy. My kids get up early, and so I kind of have to get up. NBRV. SKLN dropping down under the whole dollar. It's at 96 cents, but what I really kind of like about this one is that it has a little bit of a channel forming here in between 95 and 104. And so I can kind of watch it to see if it breaks one of those two high and low points. MBVX at 88 cents now. OPTT gapping up with no volume. BSPM was a big mover the other day, but it's not really doing much now. It's gapping up a small amount. It's at 326. So it's actually a decent sized gap up. You wouldn't be able to tell just because there's no volume, but it's actually a relatively big gap up for BSPM. KODK gapping down some. This is a blockchain stock, I believe. And CASC, like I said earlier, it's being acquired with I think a speculated price of $10, and so that's why it's gapping up. Like I said before, this one most likely won't move very much just because it's an acquisition. Man, look at SKLN here, dropping under that channel I was talking about just a second ago. And bounced right back, but we'll see if it can kind of continue forming this little channel here in between 95 and 104. See if it can hold over that 95 point. MNKD slowly gapping up some. It's at 270, closed at 261. MTOR gapping up about $2. Good morning, Atheon. What's up? What's up, man? You know, BTG got a little volume spike about 40 minutes ago. Yeah, no problem, Chuck. No problem, man. Appreciate it, bro. Let's see what these ETFs are doing today. DGAZ running up some. UGAZ running up some. UVXY. SKLN bounced back here, still at 99 cents. Alright, Power Zone. Alright, bro. Nobody talk about food. Power Zone doesn't want to hear it, you know. FOSL. SMCI gapping down some. NVGS. Few small gappers. That's rough, man. That's rough, Power Zone. Good luck with it, man. LTBR, small gap. Watching ATOS, though, this morning to see if it can have another push here. You can look at the daily. I mean, I think it may start washing out here. But, you know, it did go kind of supernova the other day. Not the other day, but in October, it went all the way up to 150. And so, I mean, it's a former runner. We'll see if it continues here on ATOS. Good morning, Maxwell. VUZI. right. Let's see if I can find anything else that's moving this morning. Yeah, some of these are tradable on TradeNet. RCON is. I don't like RCON as much. We'll see. IMMR is as well. KONE. MBOT is. The ones I really want to trade, like MBOT, ATOS, and SKLN, are not tradable, which is a bummer. But CMCM is. MARK is. IGC is not, but IGC is starting to wash out here. Dropped all the way back down to 90 cents, just above where it closed, and so starting to wash. I don't know if I like it anymore. GoPro at the highs. ERIC dropping down. BLCM, like somebody said, a dead cat bounce possibly. See if it fills some of that gap. SMCI, big drop. Yeah, I'm going to watch LMFA as well to see if it goes on a little tear here. SKLN is following that channel, which is what I wanted to see. It found some support back at that 95-cent level. If you like the more expensive stocks, SLFY or SFLY, big gap up here. Closed at 53. It's at 63 now. CBay looks somewhat interesting here. Alright, so hopefully we get some volume back in the market. Usually the volume's not this low during the January trading days, but for some reason the market's really slow. Would I buy ATOS at 50 cents? It all depends. Depends on what the support looks like at 50 cents. It looked to have some support there previously, and especially with these cheap stocks, those big half and whole dollars are, usually pretty crucial for them. And so it all depends, man. I don't really want to say if I would or not. It's just I kind of like to react to what I see. So appreciate it, Chuck, man. Shout out to Chuck T for the $10 super chat, man. Thank you so much, Chuck, man. I appreciate it. That's awesome, man. Appreciate it, man. That's great. Hey, man, honestly, $10 is a huge amount for me, to get donated to, man. It's crazy that people donate to me, but I appreciate it, Chuck. Thank you so much, man. NVGS. But yeah, man, that's awesome. Thanks, man. But yeah, we'll see what ATOS does here. It had a lot of resistance here at this 65 cent level. And so Gonna kind of see how it reacts to that level, that 65 cent point. XRX. Yeah, XRX looks interesting as well, Marwan. Wahid, I've been asked that a few times. I use Trade Ideas for my scanner. It's pretty decent. I think it costs me $100 a month for it, but you know, it's definitely useful. You know, it takes a little while to learn. You know, so far I like Trade Ideas. I like the scanner. This is the second month I've subscribed to the Trade Ideas scanner, and you know, I thought about getting off of it. Like, I took a few days off of it while I was still deciding if I wanted to resubscribe to it. And, you know, I definitely missed it on the days when I didn't have the scanner. And so, yeah, it's a little tricky to learn. Like, you have to set up the alerts, and it can be a little bit complicated. But there's some good YouTube videos out there showing you how to set up alerts on Trade Ideas. And so I like it so far. Definitely like it better than not having a scanner for sure. No, Wahid, it's Trade Ideas. You can see MARK gapping up. I believe this is a blockchain / crypto related stock. Let's see if I can find some news stories on this one. AZRX is gapping up. I mean, it's gapping up a big amount. It just doesn't have the volume to back the big gap up. And so I'll watch it, but it needs a little bit more volume in my opinion. Okay, so Mark is basically up after a big drop on yesterday. It dropped 17.5% yesterday, and so it's just rebounding a little bit from that big drop, I think, for MARK. All right, you can see ATOS here. It's at 66 cents now. MTBC gapping up a small amount. VALE looks kind of interesting here. VALE, it closed at $12.99. It's at $13.37 now. Somewhat voluminous. We'll see if it follows through here. Yeah, Wahid, that's one of the biggest ones I'm watching. It has probably the most volume out of everything else I'm watching, ATOS. And I mean, it's going to have more volume just because it's a cheaper stock, and so people are able to buy more shares, but it's moving a decent amount. And like I said, that 65-cent level is an important level in my opinion. And so you can see it's bouncing off of that 65-cent point now. We'll see if it can hold over there and possibly get up to test that 71-cent high of pre-market. Right, that's exactly what I was thinking, Wahid. Great minds think alike, bro. Also, one that moved a little bit yesterday, GERN. This one looks somewhat interesting as well if it can get over that 275 point. You know, a lot of people always consider the biggest support and resistance areas the half and whole dollar, but the quarter and 3/4 dollar is also big support and resistance, like 75 and 25. A lot of times those will act as support and resistance areas as well. XXII at 359. We'll see what it does. If it holds over 350, possibly gets up there and breaks that 372 level. And yeah, guys, also that we do have our free day trading chat room here. So if you haven't checked out the free day trading chat room, a lot of times people wanted to keep chatting with others after the stream ended. And so I created a free day trading chat room for everybody to go to and talk about what's moving once the stream ends. I'll go ahead and add that link here. So yeah, if you want to join the free day trading chat room, the link's right here. But yeah, we'll see what IMMR does here as well. I'm going to be watching it at that 1150 point. And MBOT, we'll see if it holds over that 110 point. It's got a little bit of a gap in between 110 and 1 if it drops below it. So we'll see what MBOT does here. SKLN, still in that little channel. It's been forming in between 105 and 95, or 104 and 95. About a 9-cent channel. We'll see if it interacts with it at the open. MARK sitting right at the $0.50 at 950. Gonna watch this one as well. But yeah, with trade ideas, what I do is I set up a small gap scanner. It's a scanner that finds really small gap ups, because a lot of times with the really big gap ups, it will end up washing out at the open. And sometimes the little small gap ups are the stocks that run the most, like just a very small, 5% gap up. Sometimes those are the stocks that run the most. And so I set up a scanner that looks specifically for those little gap ups. SOXS gapping down some. BLCM, gonna watch this one for that rebound here, possible gap fill if it gets over 6. But yeah, guys, we got about 13 minutes until the open. Like I said earlier, hopefully the volume will pick up some this morning, and we can get a few decent runners. MARK got rejected at that 50-cent level, and it got rejected right there previously too. You can see, well, not necessarily, it got rejected a little bit higher, but it does have some resistance at 950. Gonna watch that one, maybe for a short at the open to fill some of this gap up, maybe down to the $9 level. We'll see. Appreciate it, WS. NVLN. I missed this one, just found it. So NVLN's gapping up a decent amount. It doesn't have the volume to really back it up, but It is a pretty big gap up, so we'll watch NVLN as well. ATOS seems to be holding support over that 65 cent level that I was talking about earlier, and so we'll see if it holds over there. Maybe goes for a run. RCON is kind of going sideways at 166 now. NGVC is a big gap up. NXTD getting a little volume spike here. It's at 224. Not really doing anything with it, but it is gapping up a small amount with NXTD. This one's a former runner as well. Went all the way up to 860. So yeah, ATOS sitting at 66 cents. We'll see what this one does here. SRNE at 770. GEH looks like a buyout. XRX is kind of going sideways, filling some of that gap. We'll see what it does here. And MARK is back up to that 950 level. Let's see if I can trade BLCM. I can, so that's good. Maybe get in for that gap fill. ATOS is up to 67 cents now. Alright, so let's see if we can find any of these catalysts with some of these. KONE is gapping up a big amount. Let's see why it's moving. Alright, so KONE filed a Form 20F notification of late filing. The company said it has encountered a delay in assembling the information and finalizing the registrant's annual report for the fiscal year ending in September 30th, 2017 without incurring undue hardship and expense. And it announced an asset change with C Media Limited. So you can see KONE starting to push up here. Just broke the pre-market high at $8. It's at $8.48 now. This one's moving a ton. It has a huge range so far in pre-market. And so gonna keep an eye on KONE, maybe for a washout. And you can see ATOS is back up to 68 cents. That one looks interesting as well. KONE breaking over the $0.50. It's at $8.53. GGB gapping up some. Alright, let's see if IMMR is just reaction from yesterday. Alright, so IMMR signed a patent deal with Marquardt. That's why it's up. It says IMMR shares surged in pre-market after it said late Tuesday that it signed a multi-year licensing agreement with Marquardt for Immersion's patented haptic technology for use in its automotive solutions. IMMR, or Marquardt, is a system developer and manufacturer in the field of electromechanical and electronic switches and switching systems. So that's a good catalyst as well, IMMR. We'll see if it follows through and continues to push up. MSDI gapping down some. See if it holds over that 50-cent level. Alright guys, we got about 5 minutes left until the open. ATOS is back up to 68 cents. And KONE went all the way up to 887, so a big move. Gonna watch ATOS over 70 or 71. Yeah, I see that, Wahid. Big move, man. Gonna keep an eye on it for sure. But this one's up so much in the last few days. I'm just gonna be really careful with it. You can see a few days ago it was at 31. Now it's at 68. Went all the way up to 71. And so we'll see what it does. Gonna be really careful with it though. KONE at 895 now. Up to 69 on ATOS, and KONE's at 930 now. So big moves with these two stocks, ATOS and KONE. $9.45 on KONE. This one just jumped up $1 in 3 minutes in pre-market, so gonna keep an eye on KONE as well. Up to 70 with ATOS, 71. There's the push. I would have actually preferred it to break this pre-market high at the open, and so we'll see if it holds some the resistance there at 870 or at 71. Just because I'd rather the entrance of breaking it. Well, guess not. I'd rather the entrance at the open instead of in pre-market, but it just broke it now. Went up to 72. Got rejected back down to 70. Good morning, Vanda. Appreciate that, man. I'll play with it once the stream ends. I would actually appreciate that. Being able to not have to keep typing it in and put it on my watch list. Alright, so ATOS is at 72. Yeah, Grant, what I want to see with it now is that I want to see it may wash out and test that 71-cent pre-market high. Hopefully that previous resistance turns into support at 71. And then it bounces back, breaks the high of the day, and runs. I mean, that's really what I want to see with it. We'll see if it does that, though. It's up to 72, holding firm. This one's got a lot of eyes on it for sure. It's probably moving the most out of everything else I'm watching. And it's a former runner with ATOS. And so we'll see. Hopefully it continues here. Gives us a good entry. Speaking of that, I need to get my U stock set up. There we go. Oof. All right. All right, guys, we got about a minute left until the open. RCON making a little jump here. All right, guys, there's the open. Good luck, everyone. All right, so I just jumped in ATOS with 100 shares. Oof, big gross drop. If it drops under that support it had at 70 cents, I'm going to get out of this one. Might have jumped in a little bit too early here. Yeah, there he goes. I'm out for a $5 loss. Jumped in a little bit too early. Faked people out, though, to my credit. I'll look at it again if it bounces back up. Look at SKLN here, guys. SKLN. At 103. 108. And of course, it's limited liquidity, which is absolutely ridiculous. Watching SID here. SKLN broke over that channel, but then it got pushed back down under it. So we'll see what this one does. SRCI, guys. Check out SRCI. Up to 1029 now. Watching ATOS here. Hey man, maybe it looks like to be washout long here, maybe. It's got that big support and resistance level at 71. We'll see if it follows through here. LMFA. Alright, so I'm in LMFA. Horrible fill, but I'm in it with 100 shares. Nice. Go ahead and get out there for a $6 gain on LMFA. Small gain. The reason I got out is because it has this resistance here at 215. There's the pop over 215 for LMFA. really choppy right now. Looks like to be a 1 minute pullback on LMFA. Looks somewhat interesting. Yeah, ATOS is struggling. You can see that pre-market high is still holding as resistance at 71 cents. Watching LMFA looks maybe might be a good 1 minute pullback, depending on how big the pullback is. SKLN can't get over that previous resistance at 105. Struggling. SRCI looking for maybe a dip buy here. Also PBI is pushing up. There goes ATOS. HTBX. Yeah, look at HTBX, guys. Good call, Juan. HTBX is running big here. Ran up 62 cents already this morning. Huge range so far with this one. Yeah, so I'm happy where I got out of LMFA. It's pulling all the way back down, just dropped under the low of the day now with LMFA. So I'm happy where I exited. Looks like I got out at the right spot with LMFA. Like I said, I drew this resistance line not today, but a few days ago. And it's still following that resistance at 215. And so that's why it's good. If you draw a support and resistance line, you might as well leave it up, because many times it uses the same support and resistance areas. And you can see it did exactly that. It bounced right off of that 215 level. But HTBX is probably the biggest runner this far in the morning. PBI had a nice 1 minute pullback setup up to 1420 now. LMFA actually looks like a half decent short. Depending on if it follows through and breaks that low. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, Andre, as well. Depends. It could have a 1 minute pullback, but the thing that I like about a short is that these really long upwicks here, they're huge upwicks. This upwick is a, 16-cent upwick, so a pretty big upwick for a 350 stock. You can see PBI had a nice little 1 minute pullback here. It's starting to run. Still, I'm not jumping in HTBX here. It's too risky. Keeping an eye on ATOS here. There's the big pullback on HTBX. If you're going short, good trade, Andre. AMD. AMD's running up, flagging some here. Also watching ATOS here for a break of that 75-cent level. Alright, so there goes ATOS testing that previous high. I'm going to jump in here. Just broke that previous high. Let's see if it follows through here. Back up to 75. We'll see if we can get over here. There it goes. Just broke 75. See if we can get up to 80 cents at least. Looks to be struggling some. We'll see. I'll let this one pull back down to 70 before I jump out of it. Still sitting at 74 with ATOS. There it goes at 75 again. 76, nice. There we go, up to 76, 70, over 76 now. Let's even get up to 80. Went up to 77, nice. Big spread on it so far, but it's up to 78, 79, nice. May pull back here. Back up to 79. See about a 1 minute pullback here maybe. Trying to give it a little bit of time. Up to 79 again. Nice, up to basically almost to 80. I'm going to get out here. It's running into some resistance. $3 gain. I'll take it. With that, I'm break even on the day, so I'll take that. Small gain. I jumped out of it. Maybe get in on a pullback. RCON's running. I was watching RCON this morning. It is. We'll see what RCON does here. I probably should have used a little bit larger share size with ATOS, but I'll take it for a break-even day so far. More importantly, I'm green on TradeNet, even if it's a very small green. Got to get my confidence back a little bit. Yeah, Robinhood. No spamming in the chat, bro. Sorry, man. Just no advertising any other channels or groups or chat rooms in the chat, man. All right, so HTBX looked like a nice short, Andre. Good job, bro. Awesome trade, man. MBOT at 110. We'll see if it follows through here. TROV. A little bit cheap penny stock. We'll see if ATOS has a little dip play here. No, you're good, Robinhood. No worries, man. Alright, so there goes ATOS here. See if it flags some. I'm jumping in ATOS here. Another 100 shares, just broke the high of the day. See if it fakes people out here. It looks like it might. Looks to be a fake out on ATOS. Yeah. I'll give it a little bit more time, but I think I'm getting faked out here on ATOS. Well, there goes trying again. See if it gets back over 80 cents. There we go. Nice. Pushing for 81 again. There it goes, broke the high of the day again, nice. Up to 82. Up to 83 almost. It's still trying. I'll let it test that previous support at 80 cents. Pull back. It's most likely really low, Danny. Here, I'll check once I'm out of this trade. It's most likely really a small float, it looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here for like $1.50 loss, which is fine. I probably should have let it test 80, but whenever it runs like that, breaks the high of the day, and only pushes up like a very small amount like that, it makes me think it's gonna have a big pullback, and so got out with a very minimal loss. SKLN here is trying to break the high of the day again. Let me look it up really quick. The float is 22.4 million, Danny. Yeah, 22.4 million is the float for ATOS. Yeah, IMGN looked like a nice washout long setup. GLBS here. Look at GLBS. GLBS breaking over the high of the day. And it's limited on UStock. But it got a really nice volume spike for GLBS up to 128. We'll see how it reacts to that previous resistance area at 128. If it breaks it, I might jump in it, but we'll see. I'm using my scanner, Danny, my trade idea scanner. It allows you to look up any stocks kind of statistics. Yeah, with ATOS, the float is 22.4 million. The short float is 22.61%. So 22.6% is the short float. Market cap 17.18 million. Oh, man, I was looking at that. I missed GLBS. Like I said, I was going to get in if it broke that 128 resistance, but just missed it. I was looking at my other laptop. KOD. Yeah, the short float's 22.6 million. Robinhood. There goes SKLN here. Up to 111. I do, Danny. It's about $100 a month, I think. I'm not sure, Robinhood. I just know it says the market cap for me on trade ideas is for ATOS is 17.18 million. But I don't know, it could be kind of errors in between the two services that we're checking. Alright, so this is kind of a crucial level for ATOS, that 75-cent level. SKLN had a little 1 minute pullback here. It's up to 113 now. 114 at its highs. We'll see what ATOS does here. It's like I said, that 75 cent point is a really crucial support and resistance area. So we'll see if it holds support at 75. PTN. PTN slowly grinding up here. BSPM trying to break over the high of the day. RCON never could. Amago, it all depends, man. With TradeNet, if I have a real platform, I use a limit order. No, you can't. SCIG, you can't short. I can short on TradeNet, but I can't short on Robinhood or Ustock. But yeah, Amago, going back to your question, if it's on Ustock, I use a market order just because limit orders are a little sketchy on Ustock. If it's TradeNet, I use a limit order, and I usually just buy on the bid or buy on the ask and sell on the bid. Much easier way than trying to type in your limit order on TradeNet. Alright, so ATOS broke under that big crucial support and resistance line at 75, but it looks like it's trying to bounce back over it and hold. We'll see if it can. So far, a very small loss on the day. I think I'm down $4 maybe on the day. But more importantly, I'm green on TradeNet, which is what I'm trying to build back up. And so, not too bad of a day. I'll take it. No problem, Amago. BSPM, guys, just broke the high of the day and was halted on the way up. BSPM, it broke the $0.50. It's at 355 now, but it was halted on the way up. OPGN had this push and it's flagging some. Doesn't have any volume though. And ATOS just broke over that big 75 cent level. Yep, Robinhood. I'm using OBS Studio. Thanks for subscribing, man. Since it's a foreign language, I can't pronounce it. Sorry, man. There we go, SC. Sorry about that. But yeah, thanks for the subscription, man. Can't pronounce your name, but appreciate it, bro. Alright, so ATOS bouncing off of that big crucial 75 cent level. We'll see what it does here, if it has a little dip buy or if it is a bear flag forming. We'll see. AVP slowly started to grind up, went to 261, washed out to 256, so we'll see what happens here. VER. Got a huge volume spike here. Really big float on it though, but a big volume spike. No problem, SC. Yeah, CASC is kind of back and forth. HTBX not doing too much after that big run. RCON never could get over that 70-cent level and hold. IMGN looks somewhat interesting here after a dip buy. Yeah, Giancarlo, you know, we'll see if this is the only thing I'm worried about is that this could be a potential bear flag, you know, like it drops, puts in a lower high, and if it drops under that 74-cent level, it could be bear flagging a little bit. Yeah, there it goes. See, that's what I was worried about. A potential bear flag dropping. You know, it does have some support at 71, where that pre-market high was. And so, we'll see. Right, see, that's exactly what I was worried about. It looks like a bear flag, you know. Just like bull flags, push up and then dip down and then push up. This one dips down and then, or pushes down and then dips up and then pushes down. So it's a bear flag. But, I mean, it could find some support at that 71-cent level. It had a lot of support and it had a lot of resistance at 71 cent previously, just because it's the pre-market high. And so we'll see what it does there. That's rough, SC, XNet. Yeah, I don't trade XNET. There's a few stocks that in my mind I've just labeled unreliable. XNET is one of them. MYSZ is one of them. DPW has been one before. And so there's a few. HMNY. So a lot of stocks I've kind of seen and I've just kind of labeled them in my mind unreliable just because they've ended up faking me out too many times. Look at that big wash on AVP. BSPM is not a 5-minute. Is it a 10-minute, or are they investigating it? Yeah, it's a circuit breaker halt after it's up 18.3% with BSPM. So GERN has been washing out this morning. So we'll see if that previous support turns into resistance at 75 cents now with ATOS. LMFA, big washout. I got out of LMFA right at the best time. I got out at like 212 or 213. Got rejected at 215, like I said, and saved myself some tragic trades there. SKLN here. Break the high of the day. SKLN. up to 116. This one just doesn't have a big enough range for me to really want to mess with it. But look at VER here. Beautiful push up there. Nice little continual push up with VER. It's still going here too. It looks, I'm not going to chase it, but it looks nice with VER. Alright, so it's most like a 10-minute halt with BSPM. It was halted at 8:58. Alright, so BSPM should be resumed very soon. Within the next minute, BSPM should be resumed. I think it may get rejected at 4 and fill some of this gap down. We'll see. There's the resumption with BSPM. It went up to 408. Let's see if it fills the gap down. A lot of times when a stock's halted like this, it'll push up and then it'll wash out and fill the entire gap down. But it looks to be showing a little bit of strength here. Went up to 420. Huge drop. Yeah, SKLN, that's what I said. It broke the high of the day, but it just didn't have a big enough range for me to mess with, and now it dropped down to 110. PBI's pushing up, trying to test that previous high. Still struggling to stay over 4 with BSPM. there's a huge drop on it. It looks to be trying to fill that gap down. We'll see though. The bottom of that gap is turning into a little bit of support here with BSPM. Nice, Andre. Good trade, bro. Yeah, IMGN is pushing up really nicely here. Later, Andre. Nice trades, man. Good job, bro. Have a good one, man. Alright, so IMGN is up to 915 now. And BSPM is actually holding above, trying not to fill that gap down right here. Yeah, IMGN's steady push here up to 921. $9.23. ATOS having a nice reversal here. And I'm actually in ATOS on Robinhood at 0.7335. I'm up 469 right now, 3.65%. And so I'll stop it at a break-even trade. I'm up 635 now. Nice. I might jump out of this here for a $7 or $6.50 gain. Really $5.44, but I'll take it. With that trade, I'm break even. Maybe a small green day for me. And I'll go ahead and add a screenshot for it so you guys can see in the chat. No, I'm not lying to you. Yeah, we'll see what BSPM does here. All right, so ATOS is testing that 75-cent level again. I got out at about 76 cents, maybe a little bit less, for a small gain. PBI. SKLN. Good job, man. ADOM. Yeah, ADOM's running up nicely. And IMGN pushing over that previous high again. At 926. Nice job, Matt. Awesome trade, bro. IMGN up to 931 now. But yeah, guys, today's not been too bad. Finally, a very small gain today of like $1. Mostly on ATOS, and a nice trade on LMFA. Took a few small losses, but that makes today a small green day. Yesterday, a break-even day, and then the day before, green day. So I got 2 green days today and 2 green days this week and 1 break-even day. So much better than the last few weeks. SKLN still sitting at 110. Alright, so you can see ADOM here trying to push up and break that 191 high. Big drop on BSPM. CMCM's been slowly pushing up this morning as well. But yeah, guys, market's a little slow. I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down now. I'll include, if you want to join us for our free day trading chat room, here's the link. Follow us on there if you want to keep talking with everybody else about what's moving. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It does help support us if you click the like button as well. And so if you want to help support us, click the like button now if you appreciate this content. And yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. Shout out to Chuck for the awesome $10 donation. I appreciate it, man, more than you know. It's awesome that you would donate $10 for me, man. Appreciate the love and support, bro. And yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. Join the free day trading chat. I just put a link in the chat box. So join us in the free day trading chat if you want to keep talking with everybody about what's moving. And yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. I'll see you guys later and have a good one.